What's going on, guys? So today I'm going to be installing a lift kit on my truck. Finally, after I don't know how long. I'm going to be removing my 3-inch spacer that I have there for the level. I'm going to add a 2.5 spacer, a 3-inch spindle for that. On the back, I'm going to be doing a 4-inch block with shock extenders because I don't have money to buy bigger shocks at the moment. So first things first, get off the wheels. Gotta remove my helper springs because I can't remove the U-bolts that are on there now or install the new ones. So I need to remove my helper spring in order for me to access that. So I'm going to lift the truck right now and with the jack, put on jack stands and start taking off the wheel and the helper springs, and I'll be back after I do that. Alright guys, so I got my leaf springs on, tires off, U-bolts off, and I did loosen up the shocks because I will be adding that shock extender there, and it goes on the top side. So I got that loose, so I'm about to drop the jack a little bit so I can get that that smaller block out and put the new one in. Alright guys, so I got the new blocks in place, got the shock off, and I can pull it down, and I already twisted it, so I got how my new bracket's gonna go. So let me show you guys. This is a little extender, so it's gonna go like this. I think it's like this, yeah, because the original screw goes in like this, and then I already turned this one, so it's gonna grab on with the new bolt in there like that. So I'm gonna do this, it's gonna go in there like that up there. So I'll show you guys when I got it done. Alright guys, I got the whole back side done. Got the brackets, the shock extenders there, you guys can see them. Like I said, I put them on. I pushed the shock down to put the bracket in. Sorry, the camera turned around. I'm trying to record upside down, so the camera just tilted on me. But now I'm gonna get started on the front. So yeah. Alright guys, now on the front, took off the wheel. Gotta remove this nut up here. I don't know all the terms for all this stuff, but I know we gotta remove this one. Gotta remove this one right here. Gotta remove the brake line, the ABS wire. So I gotta remove this bracket from here so we can get it out the way. Gotta remove the calipers from the rotor or the knuckle. And we gotta leave it hanging somewhere. You don't want to just let it drop. And then we gotta take off the rotor with this little T2025 looks like. And then after that, the knuckle's held into the wheel hub with 3 bolts, and I'll show you guys once I remove all of that. I'm also going to remove my strut because I'm going to be changing that spacer there. I'm going to put a slightly smaller one. So yep, I'll get to it. Alright guys, so to remove your caliper, there's 2 18mm bolts with Loctite. So they're going to be quite a pain in the ass to take them out. But I used a breaker bar and the 18mm socket, and it works. Well, on the bottom I was able to use the impact gun. On the top I couldn't because there's not enough space. So I used a breaker bar. Now I'm going to take off the rotor with this what is this? It's a T27 to take off the rotor. I did undo the ABS line from up top. It plugs in back there, and I removed the bracket that goes into the caliper, into the brake line. So I'm gonna leave this one here because I'm gonna come out with the whole thing, and then I'm gonna remove all three of the control arm and all this stuff. So guys, so I try to make a video for you guys to see how I lift on my truck, but as I was recording, some of the stuff got corrupted. So I mostly have all the back, lifting the back, and part of disassembling the front, but everything else got corrupted, so I wasn't able to save any of that film. But I'll show you guys what I did. I had to disassemble the whole front like I mentioned on the previous video, and I got a new spindle knuckle, and it's a 3-inch lift. As you guys can see, that that piece that goes to the top, it's 3 inches. It drops down the hub assembly 3 inches down. And before I was running my level, my angles were pretty bad. My ball joints they weren't bad yet, but they had a really big slope on them, and now they're really smooth and flat. So they're back to factory, and I really did notice on the drive, I don't longer feel the bumps that much. It feels pretty smooth. So pretty much what I did, I saw this Real Trucks video where they did a 6.5 inch lift. It was like an hour-long video. You guys search it on YouTube, and they cut this dust cap or whatever it is. They cut 1/2 inch on the backside where the caliper's at. So I did cut 1/2 inch there and 1/2 inch on top. So I pretty much just marked 1/2 inch from the end this way, 1/2 inch from the end this way, and just cut straight. The hardest part for me was undoing the bottom ball joint from the original one. It took me like an hour and a half to knock it out. But then I had some friends come over and they helped me out, so it helped everything out. Everything went pretty smooth after that. I did have to loosen the everything else is pretty much just self-explained. You remove the ball joints, you remove those 3 nuts that hold the knuckle into there's another nut behind that piece. You remove those 3 to remove the knuckle from the hub assembly, and then you're at your new knuckle under. You cut this piece 1/2 inch like I mentioned up top and on the bottom, cut it straight down. And I did have to remove my brake lines. I removed the piece that holds the brake line. It's clipped on back there. I removed it, as well as the ABS line, because it drops it down 3 inches. So you need to either extend the lines, but I'm not going to do that now. So I just removed that, removed the bracket from here where it screws on, and I bent the line a little down just to give it enough line slack, so it when I turn the wheels I don't snap the lines. So I did that. I just bent it down a little bit. It works great. I zip tied the ABS line because that's where I removed the bracket from it, from here. I think, yeah, this is the bolt for that holds it in place. So I removed the bracket as well to give it more clearance, and I just zip tied it there. I zip tied both of them together right here. But and I ran it through the bottom of this A-arm, and yeah, I haven't had any issues with that. What I do have issues with right now, it was rubbing here, so I just made a little hole right there, and I zip tied it to the front. It no longer rubs there. It rubs here now on the bumper. You guys can see this little, my bumper's painted, but you guys can see how it's probably a 1/4 inch, but you can really feel it on my tires when you do that. What happened when I did the knuckle, it pushed the wheel out, I would say like 1.5 inches. So now my tires, instead of being kind of more on the inside and not rubbing when I turned. It now rubs there, and I'll show you guys that it's sticking out a little further than the back. It's probably a full maybe 2 inches that is sticking out, so it probably pushed the whole thing 2 inches out. I don't know why it does that, but it does it. So right now I'm gonna tape this off just a little bit. I'm probably gonna cut halfway through here and then just cut back, and I'm gonna do the same to the other side, even though the other side doesn't really rub there, but I'm still gonna do it just for safe measures. I don't want to have a blown out tire or my bumper ripped apart, so I'm gonna do that right now. I have my grinder there, my cutting wheel, and I'm gonna tape this off and mark it. Same on the other side, and I'll cut it, clean it up, and I'll show you guys. Alright guys, so I got it marked up. Well, I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna cut I was gonna cut less than that, but already when I bought my new bumper, the guy that had lifted his truck had already cut his bumper prior to that. So the other bumper that I have is already cut, but it's not painted. So, but I'm gonna cut this one, and he already had cut there. So I'm gonna follow that line, keep it clean. And I did forgot to mention one thing. When if you guys decide to do a lift like this, when you change the knuckle yourself, make sure you do a rough alignment on it, because if you don't, what I did, luckily the shop wasn't far. I took it a brake check to get the lifetime alignment. It wasn't that far from my home, but every time it would drive, like every few seconds, the tire would like shoot out. It would just drag itself out. So you don't want to have that happen. You could fuck up something. So it's your best to just do a rough alignment on it yourself. Do some some YouTube searches. I'm pretty sure there's some there, and just so it's drivable, so you can take it to your shop. Or else you're gonna have that issue. I had that issue. Luckily the shop wasn't too far from me. Everything was good. The guys at the shop were able to get it as best as they could aligned, and it drives straight. So I'm gonna cut that right now, and safety first. Make sure you get some safety glasses, because you never know. Better safe than sorry, right? Alright guys, there you guys have it. Clean as cut right there. Everything looks good. I did cut more going up, give it more of a better contour line. I also cut, because I cut straight right here, so this piece was like that, so I did cut inside as well. And then I used this bigger wheel, it's a thicker wheel, to smooth out the edges, so it's not sharp anymore. I'm probably gonna get some white nail polish and just dab it, so I don't get none of that rust look. And this is not I didn't scratch the paint or anything, it's just dirty. I gotta clean it up. But there you guys have it. I mean, I'm gonna do the same to the other side. It's pretty much identical. So sorry guys, I couldn't do the the files got corrupted, so there's no more footage for this. But I mean, that's my lift, guys. It's not the most expensive badass lift, but overall I think it lifted my truck 3 inches, on the back a little more. I definitely feel it when I step into the truck. You can't really tell that much, mostly because I was already level with a 3-inch level. So on the front it only raised it 2.5. No, I had a 3-inch level, but I dropped it down to 2.5. So it still lifted at 3 inches, but it's not that much of a big difference. It's perfect for me though, because I always have to load all kinds of tools into my truck. So I don't want to be having a big ass truck and struggle every single day of my life. So there you guys have it. If you have any questions, just drop them on the comments. Try to answer all of them. Thanks for watching.